How was this universe created? How did we go from this to this? How was this universe created? The Big Bang is one of the most awe-inspiring and terrifying events in all of human history. According to this theory, approximately 13.8 billion years ago, all of the matter and energy that makes up our universe today was contained within a space smaller than an atom. Then, for reasons unknown, this tiny point suddenly expanded outward at an unimaginable speed. First, we observe that distant galaxies are moving away from us at speeds proportional to their distance. For example, according to the theory, the early universe should have been incredibly turbulent. This theory was developed in the 1940s and 1950s. Its proponents argued that the universe had no beginning and would never end. Instead, it had always existed and would continue to exist forever. The theory was also notable for being the first to predict the existence of the cosmic microwave background radiation. Hawking's theory proposes that spacetime has no beginning and no ending. It is a closed loop. If you traveled back in time, you would eventually reach a point where you would encounter yourself. This would create a paradox, such as the grandfather paradox. If you were to kill your grandfather before your father was conceived, then you would never have been born. Yet here you are. There are many other paradoxes associated with the idea of closed time-like loops. Because of this, most physicists do not take this theory seriously. However, the steady-state theory has largely been discounted by modern astronomers. Many philosophers have grappled with the question of how the universe began. The most straightforward answer is provided by religion. Most religions believe that the universe was created by a deity. The time in which the universe began varies between different religions and different denominations. Some believe that the universe began with the creation of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Others believe that the universe began with the creation of the world several billion years ago. Whatever the exact timeline, most religions teach that life on earth is temporary and that after we die we will be judged by God. Those who have lived good lives will go to heaven, while those who have led evil lives will go to hell. Of course, this is just one perspective among many. Observations of distant supernovae suggest that the expansion of the universe is actually accelerating. The truth is that we don't know much at all. All we know for certain is that the universe began with the Big Bang. How this came to be and what caused it remains a mystery. There are many theories, but no evidence to support any of them. Science may never be able to answer this question. But until then, we can marvel at the fact that we exist at all. We are the product of a long chain of improbable events that began with the Big Bang and continues to this day. If this is true, then the universe must have had a beginning. There would have been lots of large-scale collisions between matter and radiation. This would have produced a lot of heat. But we see that the cosmic microwave background radiation is remarkably homogeneous. Also, the theory predicts that there should be more variations in the density of matter in the universe, but we see that the distribution of matter is remarkably uniform. These are just some of the issues with the Big Bang theory. Scientists are still working hard to address them. If we were to extrapolate this data backwards in time, we would conclude that all of the galaxies in the observable universe would have been located at the same place at the same time. Second, we observe that the cosmic microwave background radiation matches extremely well with the predictions of the Big Bang model. This theory proposes that the universe began with the Big Bang and then went through a series of alternating expansion and contraction phases. Unfortunately, this theory does not account for several key observations, such as the lack of heavy elements in the early universe. Also, it contradicts the prediction made by the Big Bang theory that the abundance of light elements such as hydrogen and helium should match observations. This radiation is the oldest light in the universe. It was emitted when the universe was just 400,000 years old. This theory is based on the idea that our universe is just one of many. Each universe is a bubble of space-time and they are constantly forming. This theory is mathematically elegant and solves some of the problems associated with the Big Bang theory, but it is untestable and therefore unscientific. Before this time, the universe was filled with a hot, dense plasma which prevented light from traveling freely. Once the universe had expanded enough and cooled sufficiently for matter to begin forming, the plasma became transparent and light was able to travel. As the universe began to expand, it rapidly cooled, allowing matter to begin forming. The first elementary particles formed and then combined to form atomic nuclei. Within just a few minutes, most of the protons and neutrons that exist today had already formed. It is the event that started everything. But what came before it? What caused it? And can we ever truly know how it happened? Join me today as we attempt to answer these questions and discover how our universe began. The Big Bang theory is widely accepted by scientists and astronomers as the best explanation for how our universe began. But wait a minute. This all sounds too easy. How exactly does matter spontaneously appear out of nothing? Or more accurately, how does energy spontaneously appear out of nothing? The simple answer is that it doesn't. In fact, modern physics tells us that energy cannot be destroyed or created. It is always conserved. At the beginning of the universe, there was no energy because energy requires mass to exist. Energy and mass are interchangeable, as Einstein showed us. Mass can be converted into energy and vice versa. So there must have been mass at the beginning of the universe. But where did that come from? Unfortunately, science has yet to answer this question. It appears that we will never know what caused the Big Bang, only that something caused it. There are two main reasons why we think that the Big Bang theory is correct. However, while the Big Bang theory successfully explains many observed phenomena, it fails to explain others. So if the Big Bang theory is not complete, what else could explain the origins of our universe? One alternative theory is the steady-state theory. Another popular theory is the oscillating theory. Another alternative to the Big Bang theory is the eternal inflation theory. Finally, we have the no-beginning theory. This theory is often championed by physicists such as Stephen Hawking. Of course, science does not end with physics. So what do we really know about the origins of the universe? If you liked this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.